Romans 12, verse 21. Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. When I think of that verse, I think of my Auntie Edna. I'm actually in the city of Bath today, and she lived just up the road from here. She was a dear old lady. She used to make clothes for relief agencies. She used to teach the Bible to children. And then one day when she was in her 80s, two thugs broke into her home in broad daylight, robbed her at knife point, taking all of her savings, and then they left. My Auntie Edna phoned my mum after this traumatic incident, and she said this. She said, "This is very difficult for me now. I already had a very long prayer list, and now I've got two more people to add to it." What an incredible response to such an ordeal. So counterintuitive, so countercultural. That's the way of Jesus. That's what Paul had in mind. Don't be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. This kind of love can change the world, can't it? One person at a time. This kind of love can bring an end to hate, can turn enemies into friends. You know, my Auntie Edna prayed for those boys for the rest of her life. And at her funeral, a few years later, I spoke to someone from the young offenders prison who told me that they'd been caught and put behind bars. And one of them, there in prison, had attended a chapel service, and there he'd given his life to Jesus Christ. I love that story. I think of my Auntie Edna, and I think of this verse. And I encourage us to go into our day determined not to be overcome by evil, but to overcome evil with good.
So Jesus saw himself as the messenger, bringing the news that God reigns.
Yes, but the way that he described God's reign, it surprised everybody. I mean, think, a powerful, successful kingdom. It needs to be strong, able to impose its will, able to defeat its enemies. But Jesus said the greatest person in God's kingdom was the weakest, the one who loves and who serves the poor. And he said that you live under God's reign when you respond to evil by loving your enemies and forgiving them and seeking peace. This is an upside-down kingdom.